It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme tonight. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants on Monday Night Prime Time.
It can hold over 82,000 fans, and every one of those seats is filled for this one, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Ready to get this game started. Here's Evan McPherson. And away we go from East Rutherford. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And this drive will start inside the 25. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on second down.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
From the 28. That's complete to Darius Slayton. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
Ball at the 33 for first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Gets this to Slayton. And he gets him around 6 there. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 39. Escapes the pocket. Steps up, and he's running with it. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. That's a pickup of 9. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
When a play breaks down, every once in a while, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Wilson now from the gun. Caught by Theo Johnson. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Good opening drive to this point. They've got another first down at the 34. To throw, here's Wilson. That pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
A first chance inside the red zone now for the Giants. They've got 1st and 10 from the 20. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Buys time, rolling right. And he protects himself for the slide there after a decent gain.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
2nd and 3 now. Russ now from the gun. This throw is caught. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal. Russ setting to throw. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
Needing 10 yards now as they line up at 2nd and goal. A handoff to Tracy. And they bring him down pretty quickly at the 10. He got maybe a yard there, so a long 3rd and goal coming up.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
They'll send him over right. 3rd and goal, Wilson. To the corner of the end zone, but incomplete. Oh, he made the catch, but didn't get down in bounds.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Gano ready to send this away. Here's Charlie Jones with the return. This return makes it up to the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get set for their opening drive. They're led out by the legend over in LSU, the former #1 overall pick in 2020, Joe Burrow.
When Joe Burrow's between the white lines, he's one of the game's best and most entertaining quarterbacks. He just has a cool factor that is the envy of so many. Nothing seems to bother them other than some injuries that unfortunately have ended seasons early. When he's on the field, timing, the anticipation, Kate, the precision with which he plays, he has very few peers.
That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the 1st.
We hear about basketball on grass so much more of the space and speed coming to the NFL game. That play's so indicative of it. Get that point guard in the open field and let him do his thing.
First give of the game here to Chase Brown. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They'll run again with Brown. And he's brought down for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Burrow. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on third down? Well, we chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. The Giants taking the field for their second possession. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. A give to Tracy up the middle. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Now here's Russ. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target could make a play on it.
4th down, we're going to see an incredible nickname, one of my favorites in the game, the Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillen on the punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And it'll be Bengals football. The Bengals all set to go for their 2nd drive. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. Completes this one to Chase. And he'll get it up to the 44.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the gun, a give to Brown. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. That's the end of our 1st quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. Just 3-0 is our score. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. Time for our 2nd quarter. It'll be Bengals football to begin. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Play action now. Burrow. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And he's there to send that one away. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
You know, ball skills, they're not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball, too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge gain.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 27 on the play. And it sets up a Cincinnati 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, Man, is it difficult on the defense.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
2nd and 3 now. To throw again, it's Burrow. Rolling left, buying some time. Now he takes it. And he's going to score! Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals take a 2nd quarter lead. Joe Burrow with the touchdown. Just a great effort there from him, Brock, to take it upon himself, embrace the initiative, and turn that drive into 6.
You know, Kate, there was a day when you were watching Steve Young or Randall Cunningham, and that felt like a bonus touchdown. But that's not today. It feels like every quarterback's got to be able to score, be a dual threat on the ground. It's part of an offense every single team relies upon.
Evan McPherson on to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals take a 4-point lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Gray now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Ross off the play fake. Pass cut by Tracy. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Connects with Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That one ends up a gain of 6. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
That's too far in front, and it's not going to be caught.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Play action. It's Wilson. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Russ is cooking again. He just gets the 1st and more. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Receiver in motion, headed right. A give right side to Tracy. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire 1st half. They drop him behind the line.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Has his man, it's Tracy. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out, and this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Coming left is Tracy. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Russ looking to throw. He finds Slayton. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. Look at Cam Taylor-Britt getting up there to track that one down.
How's your block shedding out there, boys? Because they need to get through some blocks to hang that screen up quickly, and they were Johnny on the spot.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Ross out of the pistol. He's got Bellinger.
You know, Kate, it's almost as if the defense invited him to make that throw. That was a play they knew they could defend, and they stopped it right at the line.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. Forced out to his right. He's running for it. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. It's a pickup of 11. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Well, there was no sense in taking a risk down the field when a first down was just a run away. They'll get to reset now and figure out just how they want to attack a new set of downs.
Wilson with it on 1st. Looking underneath, and the back brings it in. And he gets this forward to the 19.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. It doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And he has a gain of 4 on the run, which runs us up to the 2-minute warning. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Wilson now from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Giants will have a first down.
Every time I see one of those angle routes, I think back to my day 1 install. Rookie minicamp in the NFL. Texas, angle route. 49ers of the 80s, they were making hay with it then, and the running back's still doing it to this day.
He brings it in. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Shotgun snap for Wilson. And he hauls it in for the New York touchdown. The Giants get some late points and the lead. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Bronk. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants push their lead to 3. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here's Jones. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Bengals and running back Chase Brown getting set to begin another drive here. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
Man, with how hard it is, Kate, to get these plays down the field, you can't let the coverage off the hook with a drop. It just can't happen. But you're going to see it right here. He saw the open space ahead of him and started running before he ever brought the ball fully in.
Burrow throwing again on 2nd and 10. Got a man, it's Gesicki. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Brought down by Paulson Adebo. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Burrow from the gun. He's got Brown on the slant. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Markers reset, ball at the 37. On 1st down, here's Burrow. He's on the move. Oh, look at this, here he goes. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Burrow out of the shotgun. Finds his man, Chase. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Burrow back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Looking to throw. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
One last play before the break. A final throw before the break. He puts some air under this one, deep right. Brought in inside the 20. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. That's going to bring us to the end of this first half of football with the Giants holding things down in East Rutherford. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. Has this at the 6. He stopped on the return at the 27. Here comes the Cincinnati offense for the first drive of our second half. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Trying to get it to T. Higgins. And now it's second down. Got the one-on-one they wanted, Brock, on that slant, but just not enough to get the completion.
Yeah, you got to create separation. We all love the slant route. It could be super effective, but you got to beat press. You got to beat jam. You got to beat off man, and you got to create separation so there's not that bang-bang impact to knock the ball loose like that.
Into the hands of Gesicki, complete. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Devon Holland there to make the stop.
Well, the defense was ready for that throw, stopping him right in his tracks, right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
They'll send out the punting unit. And this is the second time he's been brought on to kick it. His first effort went 47 yards. Brock looks to have a little more into this one. Fields this at the 19. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Giants and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. First down, here's Russ. Taken in by Bellinger. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Tracy. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. Russ now from the gun. Pass cut by Tracy. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
Wilson on 3rd down. Finds a seam down the middle. And he'll get this down at the 33-yard line. They strike for 23 yards. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Throwing is Wilson. This is complete to Neighbors. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. Sticking in the air with Wilson. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
Hey, listen, drops happen in football, even from the best at every level. Nothing more to do but shake it off and move forward, because the next throw might be right back your way.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Faking the handoff. Now Wilson. And he will score. It's a New York touchdown. The Giants push their lead further to start the half. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball if you're not alone. And call me a little biased. Go ahead. I don't care.
You're biased.
But the success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants make it a 10-point ball game. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here's Jones. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. That score made it 17-7, but they can cut it back to a one-score game here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. He's got it inside the 10. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
So the incompletion on 1st. Here's 2nd and goal. Burrow setting to throw. He's got it.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. 3rd and goal. To throw again. It's Burrow. Escapes out to the left. And he will score. It's a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Joe Burrow with the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
And how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
McPherson at the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Giants are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. On play action now, Wilson. Into the hands of Neighbors. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Gets this to Slayton. And he gets back to the line, but no more. He was too far downfield at the time of the pass. Gotta stay within a yard of the line. That'll back him up. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Defense shows blitz. Wilson has his man. It's Tracy. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Neighbors with the catch. He's still going at the 30. Keeps himself upright. He will go! Touchdown, New York! The Giants make it a 9-point advantage. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants make it a 10-point ball game. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here's Jones. This return makes it up to the 25. The Bengals and T. Higgins back in possession here. And they're going to try to take the lead back to 1 possession here after that last score pushed it up to 24-14. 1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Burrow out of the shotgun. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. 3rd down coming up.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Burrow from the gun. And he'll be touched down after a big play.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that tight end did.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st down, here's Burrow. Finds his man, Chase. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
First down, Burrow to throw. Short pass brought in. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them first and goal.
This offense will take that from their ground game every time. But I know, because I've been around this league a long time, runs like that, they're really hard to come by. It takes everybody, and maybe a little breakdown there on defense, too, to take advantage of.
First down from the red zone. The throw is caught. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. It's second and goal. Brown. And he barrels across for the touchdown. The Bengals shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. Those defensive coaches got to be hot, Brock. That was a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. That tackle should have ended it.
You try bringing down one of these NFL running backs then, Miss Kate.
Okay, touche, partner.
They see that goal line. They smell that goal line. It is no sure thing to try to bring down one of those horses before they find pay dirt.
McPherson to add the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bengals cut it to a field goal game. Raleigh set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. On first down, it's Wilson. Has him on the quick hitter. Hits some space around midfield. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the third. It's the Giants with the ball, trying to close out what would currently be a win. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Wilson now, first and 10. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it's going to be second down. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody.
Yeah.
And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
And the struggles continue for him tonight. He's only able to get back to the line. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on third down.
As a corner in this league, well, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. But you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
Throwing on third, Wilson. They did it! He made the interception! Logan Wilson has it! And the Bengals have some new life in the fourth!
Well, you love to see the tip drill interception come to life. You get that added moment of suspense as that ball just hangs in the air. And as a quarterback, Kate, I will tell you, it feels like when the ball gets tipped, it's in the air forever. As a defensive guy, you love to see them rally and go get it. And look at the absolute excitement you see as the defense goes and grabs it.
Here come the Bengals to take over once again. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Got a man, it's Gesicki. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. A quick slant, here's Gesicki. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. First and 10 now from the 30. Burrow setting up the play action. That's Gesicki, he's got it! And he's touchdown about 5 yards shy of that first down marker.
Kid, I can promise you that's one of those play-action plays they've repped over the week during practice. That both quarterback and tight end went to bed last night thinking, man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, I hope we have just a little space to operate. That play-action works beautifully, and the tight end, the beneficiary.
Here's 2nd and 5. Finds the in route complete. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. They get an even 10 on that play. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
From the red zone now. Completes this one to Chase. And he's brought down after a short gain. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. Second down now, 7 to go. To throw again, it's Burrow. Has it down close. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Straight ahead, it's Brown. Crosses the goal line for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals take a 4th quarter lead. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Point after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals take a 4-point lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Connects with Johnson. And he crosses the sideline a yard or two beyond, it looks like the 30.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country, quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
Into the hands of Neighbors. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That's 16 on the pickup. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
This finds Bellinger. And he's able to get this down to the 36. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. He's back to throw. Finds his man over the middle. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. From the gun, it's Wilson. Complete out to the right. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They run. Here's Tracy. Takes out a one-stop. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal. So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Giants needing 4 points. Gotta think this is 4-down territory, Brock, as they come up here 1st and goal. Russ off the play fake. That one's incomplete in the end zone. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that makes it 2nd and goal.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Here he is to throw. He's got it. And in, touchdown, New York. The impact this guy has had on this game, Brock, has been massive. They'd be on the comeback trail right now if it wasn't for his 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that second one far bigger than his first when you just look at the game circumstances. Puts him in front here in the second half and puts a little jet fuel in the engines of their defense.
And he shakes out the pressure to nail the point after, and now an opposing field goal would only tie this game. 2-0, ready to send this away. On the return, here's Jones. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Cincinnati just about set for its next offensive possession. They find themselves down here in the fourth after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. This one taken in by Chase. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. He'll look to throw it. And they got there in time. He's taken down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. So that's their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Back to throw. Short pass brought in. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Well, nothing very fancy about that. That's just a textbook curl route. I think they were running curl routes last century, and it's a play that works a high percentage of the time then, just like it did now.
Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. Pass is hauled in by the running back. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
Whether they meant to go to him or it was an adjustment on the fly, that's not the read that was going to beat this defense for a 1st down. That look, well, this crew defensively was prepared for and knew how to keep it short of the marker.
Desperation time here on 4th. He finds him beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. New set of downs for him at the 38. On 1st down, here's Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled for a short gain. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Man in motion, out of the slot. Here we go, 2nd and 9. That one falls incomplete, but our attention's still behind the line. He got cleaned after that throw and drew the instant flag. Man, there's no way around this, Brock. They had that offense exactly where they wanted them, and the penalty gives them a whole lot more breathing room.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the late, great Dennis Green. He said it perfectly. We had him right where we wanted, and we let him off the hook.
Big moment coming up for Evan McPherson on this attempt. It's on the right hash for this 39-yarder. Looking good, and it's through. And inside the final minute, they've tied this up.
These are the moments, Kate, when you realize how valuable a clutch kicker is. When he's the only guy out there and everybody relying on him, and he delivers.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. First down, here's Russ. That is incomplete, down to 13 seconds left. Tough one to retain through that hit. So second down coming up. Throwing again is Russ. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. The rookie from Michigan, there that time. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. And hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bengals. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Motioning Chase left. First throw of overtime now. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's brought down at the line.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Brown on the inside give. And this one doesn't go far. They push it forward for a yard, and that brings up 3rd and 8. Burrow out of the shotgun. On the move, headed, and they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
That quarterback clock, it is so important to playing the position and playing it efficiently. You got to know, you got to have that clock in your head because that's enough time in this league to get rid of the ball. That's a lesson this QB's got to learn.
On now comes their punter. And in overtime, this has to be struck well. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And that fair catch brought in just beyond the 30-yard line. So no return on that punt. And it'll be Giants football. Now here comes the New York offense. Their defense got off the field clean, Brock, and now their offense runs on knowing that any points are going to end this game.
Well, you want to look up complementary football in the football dictionary, this might be the most important time for it. One side of the ball makes a stand, now the other side gets a chance to go win it.
Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I've talked to running backs over the years, Kate, in the transition from the college game to the pro game. They'll tell you, there's just times in the NFL you got to run into darkness. You run into a lot of bodies. Perfect example of that on the 1st down play.
Neighbors with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds right along the 40.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, But throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
From the gun, it's Tracy. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And this needs to be a good one. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. Pulled in at the 20. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And it's going to be their football coming up. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Brown on the carry. Makes a cut to the right sideline. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it sets up a Cincinnati 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Got a man, it's Gesicki. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Giants side of the field. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Now it's Brown. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go. Here's Brown again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down. A give now to Brown. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line. No gain on the play. That brings up a tough decision for them on 4th down.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
And now the entire game rests on his next kick. Timeout called, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Big moment coming up for Evan McPherson on this attempt. First field goal was good. His second look from inside of 45 yards. The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
So the Bengals take this one on the road. And they only needed a field goal to end it. as their guy connected on an absolute bomb through all the pressure to claim a heck of a win here in overtime. So that'll do it for this one. With Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Bengals emerge as winners as we say so long from New York.